What's up, guys? In this week's Fan Friday, we're going to talk about should you be power building in the off season or bodybuilding if you're a bodybuilder. This question comes to us from Decide Now, and it says, pure bodybuilding or powerlifting programs for the off season, optimal for bodybuilding or stay with the bro splits? Great question, let's get into it. When deciding what kind of program you're gonna run, first you have to look at what you actually enjoy doing. Do you enjoy lifting heavier in an off season? Do you enjoy lifting heavier in general? Even though you are still a bodybuilder, some people do like to lift heavy. I'm not necessarily one of those guys. Sure, you might see me squatting for fives or me deadlifting for fives, but that's about as low as I personally go. My meat and potatoes, if you will, are probably between 12 and 15 repetitions. So I wouldn't consider that necessarily power building. Do I lift heavier in the off season comparatively? It depends. My body weight is definitely higher, so I'm moving more weight, but even during contest prep, my weight to power ratio is actually better because I'm losing weight and maintaining my strength. So what should you do in an off season? Should you pursue some kind of a power building program, if you will? In my thoughts, no, I don't think a lot of people should do that because, at the end of the day, if you're a bodybuilder, if you want to get the bodybuilding type results, and those are the results that you get the best, you should stick to a bodybuilding type split. Now, he said stick to the bro splits. I'm not really a fan of a bro split either. I pretty much train everything twice a week. I wouldn't consider that a bro split. With that being said, you're also not going to see me training bro splits in the off season. I really prefer to train the exact same way as I do during contest prep, and I think that's where a lot of people make the mistake and how they view their training. They view their training as, okay, when I'm in contest prep, I have to do one thing. When I'm in the off season, I have to do another. Well, in reality, you should probably be doing something very similar the entire time. So yes, my training does change slightly, as I go along. If I hit a roadblock, I might retweak some of my days a little bit. But in reality, I train pretty much the same year round. That doesn't mean that I don't specialize in certain things at one point or another, but I don't go from a powerlifting style training in an off season to a very, very high rep training in a contest prep. So when looking at what you should do with your overall progress, evaluate what you like, evaluate what you've gotten the best results with before, and evaluate also what can keep you healthy. So for me personally, when I start to get into the higher weights, the lower rep ranges, that's when I personally start to become a little bit more injury prone. I don't really get hurt when I'm training in my bodybuilding style training, if you will. When I overreach and I go into that powerlifting style of training where I'm training, 5 and below, training for singles, training at super high weights, that's when my central nervous system gets very, very fatigued, even if I'm in a caloric surplus, because your CNS can't be affected by food. It has to be affected by recovery. And even though, like with sleep and everything, even though in an off season your recovery is high, those style of training just really taxes me. So I'm not going to be doing that because I can't really recover from it. My CNS is shot, and you have to recover from a workout in order to, make sure that you're progressing, in order to make sure that you're building muscle the next time. Because if you're working out a fatigued muscle, then that's not going to be a good thing. You're not going to be able to grow properly. That's also going to lead to potential injuries. So these are the three things that you really have to keep in mind, when deciding what kind of style of program that you want to run. Is power building optimal for some people? Yes. I have guys that do it, that I don't do their training because they really like the double aspect. And some of them are double athletes. They do have to train for bodybuilding and for powerlifting because they enjoy both. Me, personally, I focus on one thing and one thing only, and that's bodybuilding. I have no interest in powerlifting. Yeah, granted, I do want to be strong, but I don't need to compete in a meet. I don't need to compete for singles. I don't need to be good at those. I need to be good at bodybuilding. So I do the things that personally make me good at bodybuilding, that make me a good athlete, that keep me healthy as an athlete so I can continue to get good at bodybuilding. So that's it for today's video, guys. You have to find out what really works best for you, what you can stay with, what keeps you healthy, and what you enjoy the most. Keep dominating every aspect. I'll see you soon.